everybody, I'm Thomas Packman. Welcome to the Beginner's Guide. It's from the makers of the Stanley Parable. And now, this is apparently a very meta game. It's basically about it's being narrated, and the narrator is narrating about someone else's life who's not the narrator, and it's like about like human frailty apparently, and it's apparently very deep and maybe inspirational. I don't really know, but it got really good reviews. The Stanley Parable is hysterical and awesome. And I know that the makers of the Stanley Parable kind of split up into two different, they went their own separate ways. One of them made Dr. Langsikoff, something Tiger and something, which was a short game that Brian and I played. Tried to record, didn't work out, but it was kind of funny. And the other one made this, which is apparently different. But I'm going to get right into it. I'm really excited to play. Brian's working, so I'm playing this one by myself. But make sure audio's on for the narration. WASD click. Okay. I don't really know what to expect.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable. And while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Oh.
It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Okay.
And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
Is this in the
What
Unreal
I like
Engine?
is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Coda?
It's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
So this is
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay, so this is about the creator's partner, I think. Is that like an actual thing? Okay. Well, we're right into it. Whisper Machine active.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Can't go that way. Okay. So, oh, this is very sensitive. So is this his actual games that he made? Or is this just the narrator himself talking? Like, is this the actual creator talking about his actual partner? I I don't know. Am I supposed to be shooting something?
Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Hostile alien life forms? Alien life forms?
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Just found that out.
But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Okay, fair enough.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Yeah, it's funny. Oh, it's pretty though. Very pretty. Where do I go? Where do I go? Ah. Okay. So
Apparently the space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Fair enough, thank you. Okay, makes my life easier.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting.
Okay.
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay, is this...
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all.
That's weird.
That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
Will I die?
For all of our lives. Would you do it? Could you give yourself?
This is interesting, and I'll touch upon that in a second. But right after I kind of...
Let me pause here for a second.
Okay.
What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Okay.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Huh. It restarts you. It puts you back there. Whoa, 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 I'm flying. What?
The beam causes you to start floating.
So the maze does have a path.
And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh god. Oh god. The past was behind her. Oh god. Oh god. Oh. The past was behind her. Okay. I'm doing it. This is actually kind of difficult to do. Can I fall? Oh god. Hey.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative.
The future could
is
not
less
be
advanced
seen.
than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
Why
Coda's
does the
trying to
future
give
keep
it a
changing?
unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Going this way. Okay. Am I doing okay? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. What becomes clearer? Again, is this actually is Coda? But the future is always behind her. Oh, but I was gonna say about the other thing is that Brian and I made a game actually that had the decision whether or not to kill yourself, but that was to save your family. So if you save yourself, you kill a family. But then if you kill yourself, you save your family, and that was it. Anyway, moving on. The future is always behind her. So is this actually... That's different than what it was just now. Is this actually him? How she will find the strength? This is actually him? Because if it is, that is really interesting to confront it.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
Huh.
Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Okay. Okay, is this a scary game? You are now entering... Who? Entering what? Entering where? Entering who? Black.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
I believe you. December. Okay, so those are all November.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Okay.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So, I'm going much slower now.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all?
To make you want to reach the door!
I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
I didn't press enter, but thank you anyway. Okay, so what's in the door? Press whoa, start. You can't walk through the game is nothing. You must okay. Game filled chairs. One chair is floating. Normal game. You have to. Can these are more?
A room that's warm and
reading
nice
enemies' emails.
And filled with little ideas for games.
Cool. You are a gate. That's my favorite. You are a gate. That's the game. That's it.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as
a key in one game
distant.
Unlocks the door to
complete
something. That's cool.
He was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Okay. Right. You know, not everything comes right away. You gotta think, gotta take time. I understand that. Oh, that's it. January. Ready, set, fish. Thank you. Okay, narrator. Where you at?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Did I do it? Did I not do it? I guess I didn't do it. Okay, well that's that. Aha!
Don't forget that
King of puzzles!
Because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay, good to know. So, I'm still so curious, and I'm sorry there's not much commentary itself, because obviously there's a lot of narration going on here, and I don't want to...
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
Holy
I actually find it funny
crap.
that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
Wow.
Either way, I think that the point is the same. Is that most of the time, you don't get to know what you're missing. Or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
That's cool. Yeah, like you never know like what's behind the this again. Alright, well I'm actually gonna leave this here. Can I okay, I think I might be able to start from this again. I hope. This is really cool. I really like this. I want to get back to this soon because I'm really intrigued. I want to know if this is actually him or if it's like just someone that the narrator is telling a story about. Is the narrator actually a developer of this game? I may actually look into that and see what the actual deal is with that, because I'm actually really curious. And that last one, I mean, it's like, not only does it apply to games itself, I mean, obviously, if you're in a game, you don't know what's on the other side of doors that you can't go behind, or walls, like what's under the floor and all that. You have no idea. So it's just, and then in the real life too, what you don't know, what you can't see, you don't know what's going on in other people's lives, that, you know, you see what's apparent to you, but you don't see what's, like, there's, like, so many things. Okay, this game is getting me, it's very meta, it's getting me kind of to think outside the box. I guess that's what it's supposed to be doing. But anyway, I'm gonna keep rambling, because that made me do a lot of thinking, but I'm gonna leave it here and get back to it. I hope you guys enjoy it. And sorry again, there's not a lot of commentary. There's a lot of narration. I don't want to really get interrupted. This is more of an experience that you and I are both going on, and I want to keep experiencing. So that's it for this episode. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Check the annotations for more videos I've done. Once again, I'm Thomas Pacman, and I'll see you next time.